Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So, Sagittarius, I sat down and I lit before I got into doing your reading. I lit some incense. It's a sweetgrass native smudge incense, and I was compelled to also light my I have Palo Santo sticks and cedar sticks. So I was compelled to light my cedar stick as well. So I did it and I thought, why am I doing that? It seems like an odd thing. And I felt like it's almost as if creating like a double layer of protection somehow. So yeah, I just kind of feel like for some reason, maybe it's a good time for you guys to double layer protection, and whether that's just spiritually, protecting yourself, with crystals, cleansing your energy, also a double layer of protection. I can't help but, I don't know, I don't know, it's a legal document. It's just like an intuitive hit coming in with me on your reading right now. Like a double layer of protection. Like read everything twice before you sign anything. Read everything twice before you speak about it. I don't know what that is, but like a double layer of protection for you right now. Double up on everything. I don't know how to stress that enough. I really feel that. A double layer of protection for everything right now. So let's see that's completely different from the kind of reading I'm going to do for you right now. Actually, let's ask. I can't help but feel like that's really important to you for some reason. So let me this just like a completely, don't tell everybody else. You're getting like a side here. Okay, this double layer protection. Perhaps let's see if there's a particular instance category of your life to have to be doubly protective on. A double layer of protection at this time. Oh, ostentation. Okay, so right now this really feels like, to me, it has something to do with your monetary shit. Something to do with work, how you make your money, how you're seen by people. A double layer of protection. Don't spin. Okay, so that's the category. Why do they need to be conscious of this double layer of protection in regards to their home, their work, their publicity? Wow, be careful about anything that could be made public. Be careful about anything that could be made public. A double layer of protection for you right now. And fortune is at the bottom. I don't feel like that this is threatening. I feel like, well, no, I feel like you just gotta read everything twice. I don't know why I'm getting that. Read everything twice. Okay, so anyways, that was that. What I'm going to do, though, for your reading is I'm going to say, what the hell is your deal, man? Actually, I've kind of changed it a bit. I'm changing it to the mask that you wear. So they're going to look at the mask that you wear, like who you really are, the mask that you're hiding behind. So it could just be like a bit of a persona that you're putting on right now. Could be in your entire life or one part of your life. Why you hide your true self, how this affects your relationships, advice, and kind of outcomes if you followed the advice. It's kind of an interesting read. I decided to change up the tarot deck. I've been using my Rider-Waite deck. I was called to use, I haven't used it in a while actually, is my Murder of Crows deck wants to speak to you in this reading. And I'm not clarifying. I'm not getting out, I don't know. I'm just hearing you should have, I do have a small deck prepared. So I can go there if I need to. It's not my intention to. We'll just see what happens. This is Let It Flow, baby. Energy Oracle deck. And then my Karma cards to layer up like the answer to this question. The mask that you wear. Is it even a question, really? It's more like a statement. So, without further ado, let's get started, Sagittarius. Okay. Sagittarius. Why don't you no shuffle? You know, it's almost like this deck is out of practice. Like we're feeling kind of stiff in the bowl. Yeah, the cards don't want to come together. What's going on? Here we go. All right. So yay, it's a general reading. It may or may not resonate. If it does resonate and you're drawn to it, there is an extended. The link to that will be at the top of the description within this video. I'll talk about what's involved with the extended at the end. I'm struggling with another big orthodontic adjustment too, particularly stuff on the inside of my bite. So I apologize if I'm slurring or struggling a bit. All right. The mask that you wear, Sagittarius, who you really are. Interesting split. Who you really are. You are the Page of Pentacles. You're in the process of learning before you step forward. I really get that from these pages. You know why? Because at the bottom here, they have like, it looks like a knight's mask. But it's not a knight, because the knights are depicted by a horse. So it's almost like stepping into the armor of a knight. But you're learning something. You're being a little bit strategic. You're being cautious and careful before you step forward in some manner or towards something or about something. So you're a page right now. So you might be learning something new. You might be collecting information, gathering ideas and thoughts and perspectives before you step forward with something. So when I say with the mask that you wear, I mean, this isn't necessarily like the mask you've worn your whole life, maybe. But I feel like it's like right now while I'm doing this reading. Okay, so that's who you really are. So but the mask that you're hiding behind, what are people kind of seeing here? The Five of Pentacles. The mask that you're hiding behind is kind of like you don't, a little bit like you don't fit in, a little bit like you are, I'm hearing disembodied or disassociated from something important, from a community. This feeling, I get like this dude, almost like he's a scapegoat, like the way he's tied up to that post. Maybe a scapegoat. Left behind. Feels like he was left behind, almost like sacrificed. So this is the mask though. Interesting mask. I said I'm gonna build layers. Don't be yelling. Let's see where this goes. Why you hide your true self? Oh, the Seven of Swords. So why do you hide yourself? Because you hide yourself. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Now I see why when I started this reading, I was describing that, like, I use these cards. I was about to say, I don't go to the teeny tiny deck. And if you've been with my readings for a while, you know, I love to clarify and heard that, you know, you should have a little deck prepared. There's something that you're hiding here. And you know what? You know, maybe it's some kind of a plan, something that you're learning, something you're developing, right? You haven't brought it forward yet. You're not in that night energy. You're still acquiring the information that you need about something. So you got stuff on the down low. If people see you sort of isolated, right, with the Five of Pentacles, so that's the mask that you're hiding behind. Now, it doesn't mean that you aren't. I don't want to discredit or, like say that you're not on some level the Five of Pentacles. Like, how do you hide behind that? Unless you're outright, well, I don't know, with the Seven of Swords, unless you're outright lying to people around you about, yeah, that church won't accept me anymore, or I've been evicted, or I lost my job. I mean, that's possible because you have the Seven of Swords here for why you hide your true self. But I think for most of you, there probably is something that's happened And you're just, you know, it's kind of bringing, like someone else had a reading a little bit similar energy just in terms of what I'm about to say right now. Whereas I think it was it Leo? Yeah, they're like developing a different part of yourself, like evolving your personality and who you are, but still showing everybody, you know, the last glimpse they got, which was this. So it feels like the last glimpse that people got of you was maybe this Five of Pentacles. But you've kind of, I feel like you've moved beyond that a bit, but that's still what people are seeing. How this affects your relationships. Yeah, I was going to say, and it's actually the card that came out is, yeah. I was going to say, I think that the relationships that you will be engaged in with right now, there'll be a lot of mystery behind them, a lot of unknown, because people don't, because if you're sitting in a particular position that has moved you beyond how, you know, the last time they saw you, or the last time they spoke with you, or the last time they thought they knew what your situation was, there's going to be confusion and mystery. So that's what's going on with your relationship. I mean, come on, it makes sense. You got the Seven of Swords for why you're hiding your true self. I mean, you're hiding something. It's so bad. You hide all the shit you want. If you don't want me pulling out your shit, you just click off right now and I'll stop reading you. That's how that works, right? Okay. Advice for you. The Ace of Swords. Let's bring out some truth, baby. Let's bring out some truth. Oh, cut through it. I mean, this is... Oh, I got to look at what's going on with the crows here. Because this one has been stabbed. Is this a little... There's some deceit flying around here. This is cutting through it. Because the crow is stealing something, right? Why you hide your true self? Is something being stolen from you? Are you trying to steal something? It's always interesting how these go, because the YouTube algorithm is really funny. Like, it'll go through ups and dips where it kind of like shares my stuff a lot, and then it kind of pulls back from that. And I feel like I can tell, like I can look at the algorithm. I can also sense what I've been reading, where I'm very familiar with that energy, but the minute it sends me into sharing me a bit more, I get some interesting messages. But I think those two, it's people that need to do some shadow work or look at some stuff here. So, you know, like I said, this is general reading. Some of it might resonate, some of it may not. All of it might, all of it may not. But there's something going on here that's very, I want to say not quite by the straight and narrow. Energy can also be reversed. So you've got the advice. You've got to cut through some sort of bullshit. Outcome if you follow the advice. The Eight of Pentacles. Oh, I love this. It's almost like his desk is clear. His or her desk is clear and ready to work. Ready to, he's got a quill in hand. So ready to produce something here. I like that. Even though it's not a knight, it kind of is the energy of like what this is, sitting back and just learning and not really quite prepared to bring something forward. Now, you could be working on something here, like some sort of a project, and you are hiding a bigger part of it because you know what? It's yours to release. So you would like that to happen in all good time. Yeah. But nobody knows what's going on with you, man. With the Moon card. Your outcome. I see you too. Like, it's funny. Like the Eight of Pentacles really, yeah, just whatever it is that you are processing, thinking, acquiring information about, applying it in a very meaningful way. What is this? Eight of Wands and the Four of Wands. It's good energy at the bottom. Really good energy at the bottom. And I want to also bring up the point that all the cards on the table for you are all singular entities. I do not think that this Five of Pentacles mask is a complete falsehood because there's no other people in the cards where there are people. This person is singular. This person is singular. You've got, the only thing around is crows. There aren't even people here. There's a crow and a rat. There's two crows in the moon. There's a one hand with a sword through a crow. And then there's one person here with their shadow behind them. And their shadow is big. But I don't feel like it's shadow work. It could be. It could even be some sort of project involving that. But what's really curious is, to me, the crow shows up as always being around. The crow is always around, except here. And crows to me are sort of like spiritual entities in this deck. Spiritual entities and messengers, or maybe they're ravens. I guess it's the ravens. So there's no entity helping you while you learn, but there are entities around you when, protecting you, I really feel like you're being protected. Like if you are being kind of isolated or contained or removed from groups or places, I do feel like the crows kind of protect you. See, okay, that's because then this crow is removing a rat. And when we think of a rat, I love rats, to be honest. I had pet rats in college. They are sweet. But if we're going to kind of go on, you know, rats also, I mean, they carried the Black Plague. They had a little, well, no, they didn't. They were, you know what? They were just as much a victim. Interesting where this is going. The rat was just as much a victim of the Black Plague as humanity was, because it was the fleas on the rat, which would also kill the rats, and then the fleas would run out of rats, so they would jump onto people. So the rat is the scapegoat, often is, in the stories of humanity. The rat is the scapegoat. They're often there to indicate that something is out of balance. And even like, you know, think of farming and plagues of rats themselves coming in and destroying grain. They're indicating that something is out of balance, but yet they get the blame for the destruction. Why you hide your true self? Are you the rat and the crow is trying to take you away? Are you getting blamed? Almost kind of like the messenger too. You know, don't shoot the messenger, but that's in a way what the rat is. I don't feel like all the crows. See, this is where it's confusing, because why all the crows around you? There's something, right? Okay, yeah, these two cards sit one under the other. And in this card, it feels like actually the rat is the one that's being sort of victimized or taken advantage of. The crow is coming in to steal the rat. And in here, though, the sword cuts through this crow or this raven, whatever. Oh, no, yeah, Murderer Crow's deck. They are crows, but they look like ravens. They have huge beaks. This is a really multi-layer reading. Okay, yeah, let's keep going. I'm going to keep going. 8 of Wands, 4 of Wands at the bottom. I really see like really the crows that you need around you, the messengers, communication, movement. This will lead to really good things with the 4 of Wands at the bottom. But still, there's a protective ring produced around here. Almost like you and 3 others, perhaps. You and 3 others, a protective ring. Okay, let's go into the Energy Oracle deck and keep building this up. I feel like too, sorry, how this affects your relationships, because we're talking about like there's at least one crow here, one messenger, one entity, one person, I don't know, that I feel like doesn't have your best interest here. You're kind of like the scapegoat or whatever. I don't want to say whatever. I don't want to keep harping on that because I want to move forward with the message. But I feel like because here we sit with the moon, and this is almost like 2 having a discussion about you, how this affects your relationships. So I feel like this crow, right, is trying to perhaps take something from you because you're not moving forward with your idea. And then cutting through that, right? The advice for you is to cut through that. Is this crow like word smacking about you to some other crow? it feels like, to me, toxic feminine energy and then positive feminine energy here overlooking it with the moon. Just like gossipy and, well, guys can be gossipy too, but I don't mean guys, like just how people use their energy, feminine or masculine. Okay, let's just keep going. Keep looking at the cards, they keep talking to me. Yeah, you have to clear something up, or else the work that you do will be overshadowed by something else. Oh, something to do with you, but I don't feel like it's 100% true. You see how the shadow is very big behind, but it's behind. And I feel right, if you follow the advice, cut through something here that's not true, then you will sit in the forefront of whatever it is that you're going to work on. There might still be like a big shadowy aspect about you, a big unknown that people don't understand. But it's better that they don't understand it than have a false truth around it. All right. Okay. It's better that they don't understand it as opposed to having a completely incorrect or false truth around it. So who you are right now, the Angel of Balance. Let me pull everything out before we start talking. Okay. The mask you're hiding behind. The Healer of the Ages. Why you hide your true self. The Magician in the Mirror. That's interesting. These two cards are so similar in body posture, right? How this affects your relationships. Man holding a coin. It will produce stability because everything is in process here. You might get some sort of offer too. Advice for you. Man holding a heart. Wow. Truth. Truth about your heart. Speaking about your heart. This keeps your relationships, I want to say professional or arm's length. You know, arm's length. The outcome if you follow the advice. Right? The shadow sits behind you. The sun. What's at the bottom? The bottom. The World card, journey, broken heart. Wow, this is closing off a journey of a broken heart here. Closing off a broken-hearted journey. The journey of the broken heart. Closing that cycle, getting ready to move out onto the pier and explore a whole new realm. The mask you're hiding behind. Interesting. That closing off a journey of healing a broken heart. Closing off the broken heart journey. The mask that you hide behind. It does pick up a bit of that energy I talked about, that I mentioned that I was getting in the Leo reading, where I feel like you have been doing something here. You have been healing. Perhaps you've been healing something. So Healer of the Ages, how that's coming in for me right now with all the other information that's coming out in this reading and the cards, is that you have been healing something of all time in your life. Like maybe something that you've been dealing with for your entire life up to this point. It's been showing up in different relationships and different situations, and you are healing that. Like of the ages, that's it. You're closing this off. You are with the World card, but people still kind of see you in that. And I feel like maybe because they haven't seen you in a bit. I don't know, with the Five of Pentacles, because they haven't seen you in a bit. So it's still that energy of Sagittarius has been working on something here that they've been healing. But so why do you hide your true self? I feel like because something's going on here with what you're manifesting and how you might be mirroring someone or someone else. Something that you do is reflected in something around you. Because you have to be careful with the Seven of Swords. Something that you do is reflected in what's around you. So you can't show everything. That's why you hide your true self. trying to come up with an example of that. You know what? I'm going to be like full on honest. I can give you a really good example of exactly what this is. Like, to me as a reader, I think all readers, especially good readers, all readers, when they're reading your energy or anybody's energy, a part of our lives will always come into the reading. And I believe that. I've been trying to figure out why that happens. And I think it's because a good way, really it's the only way for a reader to understand and comprehend what they need to tell you. So I could pick up in a reading like parts of my own life currently, parts of my own life from years ago, parts of something I know is going on in someone's life who's very close to me. Like, so that will be picked up. But I mean, a good reader will realize that that is coming in that way so that I can comprehend how to tell you what I'm reading for you. So it almost is like, that's the only example I can kind of give of why you hide your true self, because you're reflecting something, right? This reading for you is reflecting perhaps things, and I won't get into my own personal life and go on because it's not my reading, but I can see it and it gives me a comprehension of what I'm reading for you. But I can't, right? Like, there's a way I have to reflect this back. I hope that makes sense to you. It's a little bit too like, you know, if you have a little kid that just repeats everything that you say. There's that. Okay, so that too, right? One of the things I've learned, like lunch monitoring, helping at my son's school, is you really have to watch what you say to your kids, because they just say everything. The things that come out of their mouths are hilarious. But that's kind of like that. Like, you have to hide something here in case it would come out, it would be reflected somewhere else, perhaps in another environment, and it could scapegoat. You could be a scapegoat. The scapegoat, right? The scapegoat. The scapegoat. How this affects your relationships. I think there's a lot of questions about you. A lot of unknown questions about you. Or a lot of unknown answers. People have a lot of questions, and there's not a lot of answers. Now, we already got a bit of that. Like, it was important to make sure that people either, it's better for people to speculate, because it could be this, it could be that, it could be this, it could be that, as opposed to running just full on with an absolute untruth. Leave them guessing. I mean, that's kind of what's coming up, or at least that's how. This looks like two crows, two people, two entities talking to each other, trying to understand something, but they're doing it in the moonlight. So it's not going, they don't have all the information that they need. It's impossible. But with the man holding a coin, again, it has a sense of like professionalism or, yeah, like arm's length. I mean, this could be how you are with your colleagues. This could be how you are with you know, anyone who might work around your house or something, right? Like, you're not going to show everything. I don't know. There's a sense of trust. I think there's a sense of trust with the man holding a coin. Okay, advice. The Ace of Swords with the man holding a heart. This is to cut to the chase, man. Like, cut to it. But from the heart. I think when this comes from the heart, that's the reason why all the shadows sit behind you. Because it has a real strong sense of genuine, yeah, it's genuine. Clearly from your heart is your advice for you. And I feel like you're going to produce, the outcome is spectacular, really. The Eight of Pentacles with the Sun, working your way right to your brighter, clearer days. There's no fogginess sitting around you. Moonlight, shadows. When the sun is at its peak, shadows are at their smallest. Mars, who you are, energize, confront, force yourself to. You can be an energy to be reckoned with. I'll say that. You can definitely be an angel to be reckoned with, but you're acquiring balance in this. What I find interesting too, if I think about like Mars, we have both the ruler of both Aries and Scorpio. And really, isn't it kind of, that's like a duality right there. I mean, Aries is really, really very good at hiding parts of themselves. Like, I'm just right out in the open, I'll tell you right now what's going on. I need to deal with that. You don't like it, that's fine. Like, you'll get that from an Aries. Whereas a Scorpio, I'm not going to tell you anything that's going on. If you can't figure it out, you really don't know me. Right? So, what is going on here? But that's a little bit of what this push and shove is right now. I think there's a bit of mystery around who you really are. Maybe you're Spider-Man. Maybe you're like Spider-Man or Superman or Wonder Woman. Nobody knows. It's a little bit like that. Have you ever noticed that when there's an emergency, I can't think of any of the superheroes character, like Clark Kent. I don't know. Do you ever notice that Clark just disappears? And I never noticed that. Oh, watch for next time. Right? It's kind of like what they're talking about. All right. The mask that you're hiding behind. Saturn. Oh, boy. Okay. Yeah. This is the maturity that brings caution regarding limits imposed. So you look like you're pretty mature. But it's a mask, right? I think that's so interesting to get that after the Mars card. So, like, who you really are. You are a force to be reckoned with on some level here. Like, when you are really energized and pumped to do something, there's not much holding you back. You will dominate this. It will own you in terms of wanting to do it. But the mask that you're hiding behind, you look really in control. That you do look like you're managing any limits that have been imposed upon you. And maybe you are. But it might not be an easy thing for you to do. Oh, you guys, it's fascinating. Isn't this a fascinating reading? I know. Why you hide your true self. The 6th house. Service to others, what is good for us and your work. Oh, okay. This is okay. This is picking up a bit of this, like, I don't know, like colleagues talking about you with the 2 crows, the mystery here, and like things are always, you're always like a little, like an arm length away. You know, don't get too personal with the man holding a coin. And in here, Virgo, what is good for us? Service to others, your work. And okay, so I'm just so you know, I do have a little cheat sheet because I've been studying my houses. I've been studying my houses. So one of the other things I have written down for the 6th house is relationships with who you work. Relationships. What did I write? Relationships who you work with. Yeah. So that's interesting. So you're hiding. You are hiding your true self, perhaps at work. But I think part of it is you can help them by not showing who you truly are. I mean, maybe you're a big mush face. Maybe you're a big mush face, but you have to kind of show up and be professional and not a mush face. So intriguing. Now, how did this come up as a mirroring? I don't know. Maybe there are people around you who naturally kind of mirror. You know, repeat. Could be repeat too. Like, be careful of those. I really feel that with 7 of Swords because, like, the parrots. Just say what I repeat. How this affects your relationships. The Sun. Well, that's interesting. I don't know. I don't think that you're doing anything terribly incorrect here. I mean, if you have the Sun, but you're going to have the Sun here. You're on your way to something pretty bright. Look at this, the creation of, the gaining of respect for or from, things brought to life or light. I think I think there's actually a level, quite a big level of respect around you for how you show up in different ways in your life. Okay, another thing that's coming in, like another example of this is, let's say, I know, it's maybe not, like, they're not the most popular people right now, but some of them are good. Like a politician. Let's say a politician has a personal view about some sort of topic, but all of the politician's constituents have the complete opposite view of that topic. So they want their MP or their member of, or their Senate, I don't know how it works all over the place, right? You know, people that represent you are supposed to anyways. So people know, like, let's even say, like, let's say this politician says, you know what, I don't agree with gay marriage. I just don't feel it's right myself personally, but every constituent in that politician's riding absolutely supports gay marriage. So they vote for gay marriage. Like, that's, see, like, so they say, you know what? At the end of the day, we have to respect him or her for their beliefs. It's their own personal beliefs, but they step up for the community or for the work that they do with the sun. Like, you gain a level of respect. That's quite intriguing. I love this. You guys are fascinating. Advice for you, Neptune. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at this. The idealization of confusion regarding sacrifice. Okay, you are being asked to make something clear. You are being asked to make something clear about some sort of sacrifice that you are making, and I think the sacrifice has something to do with how you show up in different parts of your life. And I don't necessarily now, right? There's one crow here. So this might just be, I'm going to keep going with that example of that politician. Maybe that politician's pastor or priest says, hey, why did you vote in favor of, I thought, and it's just being clear, like, you know what? This is my personal life, and then this is the community. Like, cut through. Pastor saying, listen, buddy. And it comes from the heart. It comes from the heart. That's the part here that's really clear. It's very clear. It's clear words that come from the heart regarding confusion about idealization. So it could be like different topics, how you sit in a different topic in your personal world and how you sit in another topic in your professional life, or and that there's a sacrifice that is involved with this, and it can make things seem very mysterious and unclear. The moon. Outcome if you follow the advice, the second house. Oh, ostentation. Isn't that interesting? Because it's Taurus energy again. It was Taurus. I can't remember. It's Taurus and something. It was Taurus and Saturn. It was Taurus and Saturn. Or Saturn and Taurus, because the planets move around. Yeah. Saturn. How that all came together. Second house. Your beliefs, what you value, your resources. I feel like this protects all of that. It protects your beliefs. It allows you to continue to govern yourself based on your beliefs. It also allows you to invest in what you have value in, what you see value in, and to have access to resources that you need to be successful. Well, fascinating. Fascinating reading. The bottom is in the 11th house, very Aquarian. Freedom, associations, your circle of friends. Well, that's interesting. Yeah. I feel like you have different circles here. And in different circles, you are seen in different ways. So I don't know if it's important to you to define something more clearly for someone in one of those circles, or... But this was a really neat reading. I don't know how you felt about it. I thought it was cool. Anyways, yeah, I guess not just all about me, is it? So that was a very deep reading. I'm going to go do the extended Sagittarius. So what I'm going to do in the extended is I'm going to work with a tarot and an oracle deck and a teeny tiny. I didn't need it. I didn't need it for this one. I'm going to ask 3 key things in that. I'm going to ask how to improve your relationships with a tarot and the oracle, what your deeper self would tell you about the mask that you wear, and how to release your true potential. All right. Thank you so much, Saggies. Until next time, to be gentle with yourselves. Bye.